So today we're going to start talking about section 4.3, which is still writing linear equations, but now we are going to be using what is called point-slope form. Now we've never learned about this way of writing the equation of a line before, but I actually think that for a lot of students this way is easier than slope-intercept. So what does this equation look like? It's not going to be y equals mx plus b. Here's what this equation looks like. Y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Now some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, there is no way that that is easier than y equals mx plus b. It looks so much more complicated. Here's what all these things stand for. The y is the y value in the ordered pair. The m is still the slope. Always, m is slope. And the x1 is the x value from the ordered pair. This first y and this x are going to stay x and y. They're not going to change. So your final equation is still going to have an x and a y in it. Let me show you an example. So, number 1 says point, and it gives me a point, slope, and it gives me a slope. The 4 is the x. The negative 3 is the y. And the slope is 2. So watch how I just plug those things in. Are you ready? I'm going to copy this first y. I'm going to copy the minus. And then I'm going to fill in the y value, negative 3. Equals, I'm going to fill in the m, the 2. Parentheses, copy the x, copy the minus, and I'm going to fill in the 4. So watch where I filled everything in. The y goes by the y. The m goes on the outside of the parentheses. The x goes by the letter x. Last but not least, just simplify. Can we agree that these two negatives would make a positive? Other than that, I'm done. So y plus 3 equals 2 parentheses x minus 4. And I'm done. Now some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, that's it? That feels so unfinished, right? We're used to having to do a whole lot more work than that. That really is it. You just fill in the numbers and you're done. Let's try it again. I'm going to label the x is the negative 1. The y is the 4. And the m is the 2, the negative 2. So let's fill them in. Y minus, now fill in the y. The y is a 4. Equals, fill in the m, parentheses, x minus, now fill in the x. And the last thing is just simplify if you can. So right now I can see that there's a minus, that's all good. These two minuses together make a plus. So I would have y minus 4 equals negative 2 parentheses x plus 1. And that's my final answer. Seem okay? I hope so. We're just filling in numbers. For problem number 5, we're doing the exact same thing, only they gave us a graph. Now because we are using what is called point-slope form, that is your clue that you need to write down the coordinates of a point and you need to write down the slope. So let's see if we can find a point. I can see 2 available points on the graph. I usually use the point that's farthest to the left. That ordered pair would be the point, negative 1, 3. Now for the slope, I would just do rise over run. So I would go up 2, left 2, which simplifies to -1. Last but not least, I'm going to plug them into my equation. Y minus the y, which is 3, equals m, which is -1, parentheses, x. Now I'm going to have minus the x. But do you notice that in this problem, the x is a -1? Oops, this should have been a y. I'm sorry. If I ever have two minuses in a row, it's going to be a plus. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, I know there's going to be a minus here. So I'm just going to change it to a plus automatically and put in the 1. Now, if you prefer to write the whole thing out like this and then simplify it, you can. But I'm going to jump straight to putting a plus there because I'm going to have a minus from the formula and a negative that I'm plugging in. So 2 minuses in a row. Let's try that one more time. Because I want point-slope form, I know that I need a point, and I know that I need a slope. I'm going to use the ordered pair that's farthest to the left, which would be this one. So I would have -2, 0 as my ordered pair, and my slope would be down 6, left 1, 2, 3, 4, which reduces to -3/2. Now I'm going to write my equation. Y minus the y, which is 0, equals m, which is -3/2, parentheses x minus a -2 is going to make a positive when I plug in this number here, x. You can't really see the edge there. There we go. Maybe that'll help. I'll give you a second to catch up. Last but not least, what if I give you two ordered pairs? Well, we know that we need a point and we know that we need a slope. We've got 2 points. So what we need to calculate is the slope. Let's start by calculating our slope with our formula. So -5 minus 3 divided by -2 minus 1, which gives me -8 divided by -3, which is 8/3. Now, I'm going to use the first point. I always use the first one because it's first. So I'm going to have y minus the y value from the ordered pair is 3, equals 8/3, which is the slope, parentheses x minus the x value is a 1. And I'm done. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to calculate my slope, so 10 minus -7 divided by 1 minus 2, which would be 17 divided by -1, which is -17. Now I'm going to use the first ordered pair because it's first. And I would get y minus, now I'm plugging in a -7, so I'm going to change that to a plus, equals -17, parentheses x minus, and I'm plugging in a 2, and I'm done. Okay, I'm hoping this is making sense. We will practice it tomorrow in class. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then.